Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I submit when Kamala Harris snarled at him, made a face at him, looked angry at him, and challenged him on his stance on busing, it was a cheap shot. That's right. It was a cheap shot. I don't know how old you are. If you are 60 plus, I'd like to go back 40 years in your life. And I'd like to ask you, 40 years ago, what did you do? Are you still where you are today, where you were 40 years ago? Can I call you out on any irregularities, any indiscretions, any improprieties, any youthful indiscretions, i.e. juvenile delinquent stuff? Could I call you out on that? And are you still there 40 years later? No matter what you may think, and by the way, I'm an Elizabeth Warren supporter. I've made that clear. I'm behind her 100%. I would die with a smile on my face, Leroy Jackson, if I could say President Warren. But I'm a man that believes in fairness. Joe Biden is a charter member of the NAACP. Joe Biden has been given a 100% record on civil rights by the NAACP. Joe Biden has been a lifelong fighter. Did you know Leroy Jackson? I'm going to talk about this. Leroy Jackson, did you know he comes from Delaware? Delaware was a slave state. Delaware was a southern state. So Joe Biden came up at a time when you still had big-time segregationists in Delaware. Do you know what Joe Biden did as a kid? He's an 18-year-old kid. He was a lifeguard.
Oh, wow.
Joe, did you know that, Leroy?
No,
Joe Biden was a lifeguard at a black swimming pool.
Oh, wow.
A segregated black swimming pool.
Oh, wow.
But they were all segregated back then. He was the only white kid that would be the lifeguard there.
Oh, wow.
He said, guess what? I learned from that.
I guess.
All right. Having said that, A.H. Hoffman.
Yes.
I'm asking you, and I'm asking the audience this question. The town hall now is officially open. 818-985-5735. 818-985-KPFK. I've already laid down my position. I thought it was a cheap shot. You heard me. I thought it was a cheap shot. And by the way, I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm a Warren supporter. I've made that very clear. But I'm also a man that believes in fairness.
Not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools.
All right. Joe Biden has been a lifelong member of the NAACP. I said lifelong member. Joe Biden got a 100% rating by the NAACP. I said 100%, Oliver. A 100% rating by the NAACP on affirmative action and other civil rights issues going across the spectrum. You're going to tell me in a 5-second sound bite that doesn't count for anything? You're going to tell, and again, I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm a Warren supporter, and Bernie too. But I believe in fairness. What's fair is fair. I also believe in looking at the record, the actual record. On the issues.org 2020, Joe Biden on civil rights. Pedro Baez, Arizona. Go right ahead.
Well, thank you very much, Earl. It's so good to be with you and the crew and to all the people out there. I just want to say one thing. When I saw what I saw on Thursday night, I said, oh, my God, we are seeing a scene out of Rocky II when Rocky and Apollo both hit each other at the same time and they went down to the mat. They both knocked each other out of the race. First of all, Joe did not confront her and really let her have it. And number two, Kamala Harris should have been a little bit more, shall we say, diplomatic. There are ways to talk about things, and there are ways to talk about things, and she did it the wrong way.
All right, now all of a sudden, you're the front runner. Well, she's not the front runner, but all of a sudden you got the surge. The nation's looking at you now. Leroy, I got to tell you something. Now it's a different ball game. Next go around, people are going to start looking at your record. What did you do when you were Attorney General and District? Now, before you flew under the radar scope, everybody was looking at Joe, everybody was looking at Elizabeth, everybody was looking at Bernie. Not you, but now we're going to be looking at your record, Kamala. I got to tell you, it's not a pretty record. And I'm not speaking as anyone that has any axe to grind about her, someone who's been in California, had personal dealings with her on many levels. By the way, an op-ed piece, Leroy, is coming when I walk it through about that. This is not just Earl speculating. And Pedro, you were part of that too. You know what we're talking about. Donald Trump just, you know what? He said, God, you made my day for me, Kamala. And not only did he say it, he tweeted. Trump tweeted, said, 4th of July. And speaking of the 4th of July, all right, that's an intro for line 4. Keith, I want to know one thing. Did you rush out? You got 5 days to get ready. Did you rush out? This is your day. This is your day. Did you rush out to every wig shop on the planet, buy up every pompadour wig, and are you going to be wearing that on Thursday? Are you going to be doing that, Keith?
You going to take that?
I mean, you got to put that wig wearing on there, Keith. Like George and James Madison and Tom and all of them. You got to put it on there. Wig wearing Keith. All right, Keith. All right, give us your take about Biden and Harris.
Well, sir, I tell you, I wonder what the public. I get a little confused sometimes, and that's why I like the show.
Not surprising.
It gives me a little perspective though on the left. Because I get a little confused because they're so back and forth with everything. But see,
Keith, are you in a wind tunnel?
Yeah, well, the whole idea. Can you hear me?
No, we're getting a lot of static. Are you out there? Where are you out at the bar? At the where all the old guys when they celebrate the 1776, they shoot off the cannon. Are you out there now wearing your wig? We're getting a lot of static, Keith. You better talk fast because we're losing you.
Okay, real quickly. Well, segregation. I don't. First of all, I think Biden is right about one thing. I think Biden is right about segregation in the sense that, he is integrating. He believes in that the government, the federal government, should not have an involvement in this. By the Constitution, he's right. But at the same time, people, you wonder if you want true integration, why not have school choice? That way the parents can send the kids to the school of their choice, and they can get the funding to do it from, the tax base. And I think that's a good idea.
So Keith, we knew that, that you saw nothing wrong with what Biden did 40 years ago. Not a bad thing. Keep the government out of, the buses and everything else. Right. Yeah, I got that. All right, Keith, have a happy 4th of July in your honor. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Lee, San Diego. Go right ahead, Lee.
Thank you for taking my call. And I was very disappointed with what Kamala Harris had said, and for two reasons. Number one, first of all, Joe Biden had already been vetted by Barack Obama when he asked him to run with him.
Thank you.
So he's already been vetted, frankly. And the other comment I'd like to make is she was very disingenuous, I think, because if she was offended and hurt now, was she offended and hurt in 2007 when Barack asked him to run with him? Why didn't she make a comment then?
Good point. Very good point.
12 years ago, how old was she 12 years ago? She wasn't a little girl. She could have spoke up and said something. I don't believe she did. So those are my comments, and thank you very much.
Thank you. I like that. And you brought a whole nother perspective. Hadn't thought about that one. On point. Thanks again, Lee. Is that Leonora? Leonora, West LA. Go right ahead.
Yes, I agree that she should not have attacked Biden. I think all of them should just attack Trump. And I agree with Clifford that she made a big mistake in not attacking Mnuchin. And another thing that
indicting him, not attacking, indicting him.
She should have prosecuted him. He was throwing people out of their homes, and she could have done that, but I know she took a huge contribution from him. And the other thing that bothers me is also that she was also, when she was our attorney general, she was supposed to free a lot of prisoners for overcrowded prisons, and she did not. And so that was also a big strike against her, and she didn't, because if we did, the state was going to lose a lot of money because we used prison labor to do a lot of work for us. So that's 2 strikes against her. But I don't like Biden. I like Warren. Warren. But I think Biden is going to be our candidate, and I will vote for him. So she should not have attacked him, because if she's just giving ammunition for Trump to use against him.
That's why I said, Leonora, the man that had the biggest smile on his face was Donald Trump Thursday night. But you know what, Leonora, let me just say this. Don't worry about it. Just relax for a second, because I got to tell you something. There will be other debates. This is only the first one. A.H. Hoffman, I guarantee you, Joe will not be blindsided again. He will be ready next time. He will not be blindsided again. He's too smart a pole for that. He will next time be very prepared. And let me just tell you how I would have come back. If Harris had turned to me and said that, pretend I'm Joe Biden, I would have said 2 things. I would have looked her dead in the eye, like I'm looking at Oliver now, and I would have said, you know what, Ms. Harris, I appreciate your comments. That was 40 years ago. That at a time and a place when many African Americans oppose busing, when the majority of the population oppose busing. So you've got to look at the times. Since then, there's been an evolution. That's not the Joe Biden in 1970 of the Joe Biden of 2020. And if you want to look at my civil rights record, I will match that against any. 100% from the NAACP on everything. Same-sex marriage, gay rights, voting rights, affirmative action. I will match my record. And by the way, what's your record? No. And then secondly, I have something to ask you. Since you're so big on going back to the past, let me ask you something. I keep hearing some things about you as Attorney General. When you were Attorney General, there were some things about your record too. Is that fair for me to attack you for that? Kamala Harris may not be there today where you were 5 years ago. So it wouldn't be fair for me to go back and pick apart your record as Attorney General 5 years ago, let alone 40 years ago. That's the way I would have answered. The past is just that, the past. A.H. Hoffman, we're out of time.
We are out of time.
And we'll be looking at this very closely. We got 17 months to play with this. It's not going away. Rome wasn't built in a day. Vino, Ricky, A.H., Leroy Jackson, Oliver, my audience, thank you. And have a, bring it up, Rick. You know what I want to bring up. 4th of July, A.H. Hoffman, I see some barbecue already there. I see the barbecue already. Leroy Jackson, you got, what do you got? You got the pork and beans.
Oh, yeah.
You got the sausage. And Oliver, what do you got? You got the coleslaw. Oliver's a health guy. All right, until that, fireworks. I love it.